Okay, so here is just me showing off a script that I just finished making. There's a couple things that, like a couple of features that I'm thinking maybe I'll add later, just to make things slightly more convenient. But here is the script. So this is my rig control UI creator. So in here you can specify required text and excluded text. By default, it just has a suffix, a single suffix required, which is underscore CTRL, because that just goes with my naming conventions that I use. But basically, if you're just doing things in your scene and whatever, the point of this script is, in this scene, the skeleton is getting beat up by the goblin, and sometimes some of these controls are like hard to get to because they're under the ground, or maybe your character's up against a wall, or physically right up in the face of another character. Anyways, there's lots of situations where going and selecting a control in the scene can just be kind of really inconvenient to do just because of where things are placed. So this script is for creating a little UI window that you can have that that allows you to just take any rig. So like this one and this one, you just select the rig and then you say grab selected, and then you say create control UIs. And now I have these two UIs, one for the goblin and one for the skeleton, that I can use to select controls. So let's put the goblin one away for now, and let's look at the skeleton one. So first, let's say, I want to select the hip control, but I don't want to, look through all of these, because that's a whole lot of controls, right? So I'm going to say, let's search for hip. If I search for it now, nothing shows up, because currently everything is case sensitive. So let's look that up without the case sensitive, and oh look, here's the hip control. So I can click this, and you'll notice this was added to my selection. So the way it works now is, say I have this chest control selected. If I click on this hip button, that one gets added to the selection instead of replacing my current selection. So you can use this and click multiple controls, and it'll select all of them. Let's say I'm looking for anything having to do with the hip or the spine, right? So now if I say hip, comma, spine, now it'll show hip and anything that has spine in it, right? But let's say I'm looking for anything that has to do with the arm. Well, all this stuff shows up, and I realize, oh, I'm actually just looking for the right arm, right? Or the left arm, right? So if I say comma, left, and I search for it, well, now I get even more things in my selection because it's showing anything that has arm or anything that has left. So what I can do is I can check this box, say include all tags, and I can search for it again. And now it only includes things that have both the left and the arm in their name, right? So it shows all of these things. Additionally, let's say you're using this and you have a set of multiple controls that you keep on selecting all at once. Like for instance, maybe, I don't know, let's just say with this left arm thing, I like to select this one. Let's do the FK control. So I'll say, and these aren't going to show up right now because here, let's take this and we're just going to say switch that so that we can see the FK stuff. Where did that go? So I guess the arm is all the way over here. Okay. So here's the FK arm, right? And let's say I am regularly selecting the FK1, FK2, and FK3, right? Just so that I can bend them all at the same time. Or maybe, I do this with fingers or whatever. Well, what I can do is I can say, okay, there's FK1, FK2, and FK3 for the left arm. I want to create a new set, and I'll say left or left arm FK. And now I can say create set from checked. And then now there's this other tab called sets, where I can just come over here, and any sets that I've created will appear here. So I can click this, and let's unselect these. I can click this, and it'll select everything that was in that set when I created it, right? So anyways, I think this could be super useful, especially for animators. You know, when you're trying to animate stuff, it really is inconvenient just to like have to be finding stuff in the scene all the time. So potentially this could be a great solution to that. And it's a solution that allows you to actually like search for things instead of having to sift through this whole thing here. So anyways, that's the script. I'm thinking of adding a couple of minor features to make it slightly more convenient, but yeah. Oh, and you know, like I showed before, you can select multiple rigs when doing this, and it'll create one for each of those. And these windows are minimizable, so you can put them away and get them out later. And they both work for their respective rigs, right? So this one is for the goblin. It's got nothing with skeleton in here, right? So if I search for skeleton, and I don't want that to be case sensitive, and I search for that, obviously nothing, right? So anyways, that's the script.